Thank you for joining us on another special edition of the Florida Chamber's Bottom Line. I'm Tony Carvajal, the Executive Vice President of the Florida Chamber Foundation, and we're continuing our conversation on Florida 2030 and what we need to get right with futurist and my friend Joe Tankersley with Unique Visions. Joe, thank you so much. You've helped frame disruption. You've helped frame the importance of talent and thinking long-term over the short term. I think that we're going to get hundreds of people that are going to participate in this project with maybe the philosophy you have that it's a renaissance and not really a dark age that we're entering to. But let's dive a little deeper into some industries if you don't mind. You've got some interesting perspectives on how talent is changing and the need for learning and adapting. Share a few thoughts on what do you think the future of education and learning is?
The future of education is an incredibly controversial topic right now. Everybody has an opinion. One of the ways you see that an industry is being disruptive is how many people are consulting in it. And education, I think, has more than any others at the moment. The future will be more personalized, we know that, but we don't know what that means yet. It'll be more about being individualized. We've had one size fits all because we had jobs that were one size fits all. The future is going to be much more about jobs that really fit your talents, your abilities, and your proficiencies. And one of the things we're able to do today is do a much better job of understanding not only what you like, but what you're good at. And ultimately, that's where you want to match people with the jobs. Any education system that starts to do that, which will be much smaller, I think, much more micro education, and of course, as we've discussed, will be lifelong, I think will be the opportunity that will win out in the future.
You joined us last year at the Future of Florida Forum and gave a wonderful, rapid-paced presentation on healthcare and how it's changing. And I heard you mention personalization and taking individual needs into account for that too. What are your thoughts on the future of healthcare?
Healthcare is another one of those areas where we're seeing the age of acceleration take place. It's just overwhelming in many ways. And then we've also got a ton of economic and political disruption to go along with that. What I like to do is to step back and to look at, if we're really going to talk about 2030, what the real shift is really away from healthcare and toward healthy living. We have technology, we have a shift in attitude, particularly with younger people and with boomers, that say, I don't want to wait and go to the doctor and get the magic pill. I want to figure out how I live my life and how I know what I need to do so that I can remain healthy. What better state to do that in than Florida? A perfect place to be outside and enjoy the sunshine and the beaches and all of the wonderful things we've got. So I think what we're really going to see is that bigger shift. Once that bigger shift happens, all of this other stuff really recedes into the background and becomes picking the individual personalized choice that works best for me.
You know, that really emphasized that this work that we're doing for Florida 2030 and really even thinking foresight and the future is not always about technology or digital issues. It's about political, social, personal adaptation. I appreciate you highlighting that. Let me go to something that I know you've had some experience in. You're a former Imagineer. You deal with a lot of communications and media issues. How about closing out with some thoughts on the future of media and what we're going to gather over time?
Well, you're right, Tony. Media, creativity, that's been my life. That's what I've always been most interested in. And I think we live in a wonderfully exciting age. I know that a lot of my friends at big media companies don't really share that enthusiasm. What we've done is we've unleashed the ability of anybody to be a media producer. It's, 300 hours a minute of new video shows up on YouTube every day, and that number just keeps going up. And one of the things that I find most interesting is if you watch some of that, a lot of it's boring cat videos, but every now and then you see something you go, that's as good as anything I ever saw on network television. So what we've done is change the essential skills of what it means to be a participant in society, the ability to express ourselves through media, through individual communication. That's just going to keep happening. And what that means on the flip side for businesses, for the people who used to own that area, is how do I begin to co-create and reach out and collaborate with these young kids in many cases who have their own YouTube channels and are making millions of dollars doing it. It's exciting flux. I don't know that we know exactly how it's all going to play out in the end, but I see it as a wonderful opportunity for a huge amount of collaboration that we never used to have in media.
Well, I'm still doing collaboration in the old way, and I appreciate the hundreds of folks that are working with us on Florida 2030 and all your insights, Joe. Thank you so much. As we're thinking about the future, I hope that you will continue to join us on the work that we're doing with Florida 2030 and securing Florida's future. Global competition, prosperity, and vibrant and sustainable communities are an absolute essential. Thinking long term over the short term with one voice and building the right stories is the path forward. And we look forward to you joining us in the future on this project. For the Florida Chamber's Bottom Line, I'd like to thank you for joining us on this series, and Joe, look forward to working with you again.